From schools to work, this pandemic raising a lot of questions for employees, questions you've probably never had to worry about before. Our Allison Lottis working from home today as we here at Channel 9 try to distance ourselves from each other to honor the health guidelines. And Allison had the opportunity to talk with an employment attorney about your rights as an employee.
Have you been fielding a lot of calls from people who are worried that if they don't go because they're afraid they could contract coronavirus, they could be fired?
Yeah, just in the last couple of days, we've started to get people calling with at least coronavirus questions, but also people that have been terminated in connection with something having to do with the coronavirus. So, the issue is that the laws that are in place really didn't anticipate a pandemic of this kind.
What are the rules in North Carolina and really nationwide when it comes to your job and your health in situations like this? Can you stay home because you're worried about getting sick and still keep your job?
Well, one statute that's on the books is the Occupational Safety Health Administration Act, and that law actually allows employees to refuse to go into work where they have a reasonable belief that there's a risk of imminent death or serious injury. And usually this is applied in, construction sites or, places with asbestos or things like that, but it certainly can apply to a pandemic situation. Then the answer is it depends. So for example, if the employee has a particularized reason to believe that the workplace, there's somebody there who may have the virus, then I think they can lawfully under the OSHA statute refuse to go to work. But if it's just a generalized anxiety about being infected, but there's no specific information about that pandemic being a problem in the workplace, then I think the employee would have some risk about refusing to show up for work.
What obligations do companies have to provide people with resources to be able to maintain their health, like hand sanitizer or masks?
Yeah, that's a great point. So the same OSHA statute also requires employers to provide a safe workplace. And certainly in a pandemic situation, let's take the Harris Teeter cashier, for example. That cashier in this sort of pandemic situation certainly should be provided some sort of personal protective equipment or hand sanitizer, gloves, mask.
What is your best advice to workers here in North Carolina and particularly the Charlotte region?
Well, I mean, unfortunately, the way the law stands right now, there is some exposure if you refuse to report to work, just out of generalized anxiety about contracting the virus. So what we need to happen is for the governor and the legislature to make issue an executive order or pass a law that says it's unlawful to discriminate or terminate someone who is refusing to go to work out of concern for contracting the coronavirus. Right now, there's this gap in the law, and instead the employee has to show a reasonable belief of risk of imminent death or serious injury, and that's a pretty high standard. This is a good time to be calling your state legislature, the governor's office, and obviously your federal representatives as well. They're not going to respond unless we're really loud about it.